Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Reload Hawaii. Brother Kimo here. We're still talking about revolvers. I know. I just did a Smith & Wesson revolver versus Taurus. And if you didn't catch it, I'll leave that link on the bottom. But I just wanted to keep that revolver train going. When I first started shooting, Smith & Wesson was the biggest name in revolvers to my experience. Seen them in the movies when I was smaller, Dirty Harry, Westerns, all about Smith & Wesson. And I know cults out there, but Smith & Wesson was my exposure. So, I came in, I was like, holy crap, Smith & Wessons are so expensive. So I turned to Taurus. That's why I bought a Taurus. It was more in my price range. So, now that I've saved up a little bit, I was able to get the Smith. And I wanted to see what the difference was between those two. And, I think the Taurus did a pretty good job. But this video is about this revolver here by Ruger. This is Ruger's GP100. A lot of similarities physical-wise, but there is a little bit of a price difference. So if you're looking to take a step up from Taurus, this might be your answer. What's really wacky is this. Ruger's high-quality firearms, the resale value on this one is a lot lower than the Smith. Got this one for about 450 bucks. Used, you can find a Smith like that one back there for maybe 550, 600. But you can get a good deal on this Ruger GP100 if you can find them around. Alright guys, let's talk about these two revolvers. So to start off with, I think I'm going to start talking about the Ruger in the upper left hand corner, deal with the Smith on the bottom right, but let's make sure that these are safe. Open up the Smith, nothing in there, going to put that down out of the way. Going to pick up the Ruger GP100, make sure that this is safe, no ammunition in the room. We're safe, we're clear. So close it up. Probably what I'm going to do is start as normal, starting from the sight up here, working my way down to the grip there, and I'll do the same for the Smith. Let's get it going. I'll bring it up close here so you can see the row marks on the left hand side, Southport, Connecticut, USA. That's where this pistol was made. That's where Rugers are made. Right hand side, you can see the Ruger GP100 with the 357 Magnum stamped on the barrel. This is a 4-inch barrel, same length as the Smith. Look at that finish, so beautiful, and topped off with an absolute crap front sight. Even if this thing was brand new, it's so boring and bland, and you can't even pick it up. This one's worn down because I bought it used, 450 bucks. But even if it was new, look at this thing against Stumpy. You can't even pick up that front sight against that brown stump up there. Even with this U-groove thing on there, it's an absolute nightmare. At least make it an orange ramp like the Smith. Nice milling on the top, great profile. Look at that stainless steel finish. Same type of sights as the Smith as well. It's elevation and windage adjustable. Let's have a look at the hammer. Nice texture on the hammer. This one has an internal firing pin, unlike the Smith that has an external because it's a little bit older. But check out this gun here. Unlike most revolvers, the GP100 has a push button cylinder release. And at first it was a little bit awkward because I wasn't used to firing or playing with a revolver with a push button. But it's kind of cool. Something really crazy about this revolver, and like I said, I'm used to Smith, is to remove the cylinder, you have to take off the grip panels. Right here on the bottom here, there's a little rod that's stored in the grip that you got to insert on the bottom of the mainspring housing. Pull the hammer back, relieve the tension, push down a plunger at the inside, and remove the entire trigger group just to remove the cylinder. So for the breakdown procedure, to clean the cylinder, I'm giving it to the Smith. Let me rotate the gun around so you can see the crane, the trigger. We'll talk about trigger a little bit later. Let me get up closer so you can see the Ruger row mark. That's pretty sweet there. And the grips are cool. I haven't seen wood inlays on anything. The grip is a little bit small for my liking, even though I have small hands. Let's bring the Smith in here. In the ending of this, I'll show you what the grips look like. But here you go. Smith & Wesson on the right side. On the left side, you have your Smith & Wesson as well, stamped on both sides. 357 Magnum on the other side. And here's that awesome orange ramp. Check it out. You can actually see it. I guess that's what you get for another $100 or whatever. Same thing, elevation and windage adjustable. Again, for revolver, it's critical to have that nice texture in the hammer. There's that external firing pin on older models, and this one does have just a regular cylinder release where you push forward and it releases the cylinder. Look at that finish too. There's a 4-inch barrel. Here's what the trigger looks like. We'll get into trigger pull and how much everything weighs, but look at the finish, man. Both of these guns so awesome with that stainless steel finish. There's a Smith & Wesson roll mark, which I really like. Here's a look at the other side. Just well done. You know, this one's a little bit better shape than the Ruger. Let me stack these next to each other so you can see what the profile looks like. Here's from top to bottom. Thickness maybe a little bigger, you know, near the sight, rear sight. Here is the sight radius profile. You know, just roughly about the same. Here's the left side next to each other. Let me flip them over so you can see the right side of it. You know, they're both so beautiful. It really comes down to personal taste. But here's where I was talking about. I like the palm swell and the length of the grip on the Smith & Wesson. You know, the Revolver grip is already kind of awkward as it is. So I think the more you can get on, you know, hands on the grip, the more comfortable it feels. And for sure, that feels a lot better in my hand than anything else. So that's it for this portion. I'm going to talk about trigger pull, how much they weigh, and get into a little bit of the accuracy of both of these. So let's see what's going on in those areas. Alrighty then, let's talk about trigger pull. Everybody's always asking about trigger pull because that's one of the main things everybody wants to have is a nice light trigger, so that, you know, it reduces the amount of jerking that you might have or tension when you're pulling that trigger back, squeezing that trigger back ever so softly. So here you go. I got the single action on the left. I put dual action on the right because I couldn't fit the word double in there. But going over the results, single action on the Ruger, average about 3.10, Smith 3.7. You know, it might look like the numbers are big, but, you know, realistically, guys, I don't know how much the Ruger was shot before I bought it, or the Smith. You know, the Smith might have been shot more, who knows. But the samples I got here, 3.2 for the Ruger, 3.7 for the Smith. Dual action doesn't matter. It's the same poundage at 10.4. You know, almost identical. I'm going to call these results pretty much the same here. So let's move on to the overall weight of the pistols. The Ruger's coming in at 2.7. The Smith here coming in at 2.9. So again, you know, not much of a difference there. And now the moment everybody's been waiting for, I know, the accuracy tests. So the first one here is the Ruger, and these shots were done, you know, maybe about 450 rounds. I don't remember if it was 400 or 450. I lost count. So, you know, at the ending of the testing, I say, hey, you know what? I got 10 rounds left. Let's put them on paper and see who's going to win this thing. So the first up is the Ruger. You know, if you count out these points here, I think the one on the outside bottom left quadrant is 2. It's touching that yellow, so that's 2. And then 3, 4 is touching the 1, 5. And then you got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 points there. Let's see what the Smith does. Smith's got 2 in the one ring, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's a 3, 7, 9. It's a tie there also. Although I do like the way that the Smith fired on this round. But overall, guys, you know, when I was shooting the 400 rounds or whatever, 450, it was neck and neck. There wasn't one that shot lights out more than the other. But I will say, from my personal feeling as going through it, that I think I like the way the Smith felt better in my hands. So overall, when you look at it, you know, when you consider the Taurus and now the Ruger, which, you know, in reputation-wise and price-wise can be a step up from the Taurus, getting into the Smith, and I'm pretty sure it's going to travel out to the Colts here. A revolver is a revolver. I think if you stick to a few basic things, like making sure that the lockup is good, the timing is on point. You know, revolvers are so simplistic. If you have those things, you know, along with a decent trigger, it doesn't have to be amazing. If you practice with it and stay with it, you're gonna be accurate with it. You know, the Taurus, the Smith, and the Ruger all perform the same. So, you know, my general opinion is, if you just stick with one revolver, you're going to be able to start punching out the center of the target, you know, whenever you go out, regardless if it's, you know, 25 yards or 50 yards. I think you're going to be able to do that at relative, you know, consistency. So, you know, guys, that's the end of this review. I don't got any more revolvers to review, but check out the Taurus review if you haven't seen it, and then check out the Smith versus Taurus. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I love revolvers. I wish I could get a hold of a Colt, but those things are way out of my price range. But as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'd love to hear your feedback. You know, give me what you got. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe and see more video, hit the subscribe button down there. And as always, guys, I will catch you later.